Amateur artist Mark D. Chandler once again from Manland, and we're cooking on the dual fuel stove by Coleman, and it has seen its better day because it's stored out here under the carport. Here at the Manland carport studio, where me and Bones Yard get out of the rain a lot. But in this case, there's no rain, just extreme heat. And what you see right here, I got a stainless steel container, and that's the MSR lid on this here stainless steel cook pot. And Lord have mercy, what do we have here? We got some pinto beans. These were the dried pinto beans, and they've been stewing here for about 2.5 hours. They got a good gravy in here, and that stuff right there you see is, of course, bacon. That's 2 strips of bacon cut up. Add a little bit of salt. That's it. These pinto beans are done. And I'm going to get ready to go back to the video that you're about to see here about the fajita fry pan. And you're asking, hey, that's not a fajita fry pan. That's not cast iron. You said you can cook anything on a stove with the fajita fry pan. Well, duh. Let's not be stupid here. We need a pot to cook beans in. Well, I got a cast iron pot, but I decided to use my stainless steel because I like stainless steel. I really do. I think it's a much superior product to cast iron. Fajita fry pan, there we go. Got to put a little cooking oil in there. We're using a little bit of canola oil. Not too much, but I need that much right there. And oh shucky, I forgot to get my dadgum badminton glove. So I'm going to use my underdrawers right here. Make sure this is swirled around pretty good. I think that's a little too much dadgum oil. So, hey, I'll go ahead and pour some out. There we go. Now, let me go get my badminton gloves. Alright, I may have let that oil get a little too hot. I'm not sure. I had to deal with a dog chasing somebody down the damn road on a bicycle. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to cook some cornbread on this here fajita skillet. Yeah, somebody wanted to see me cook cornbread for some reason. Camping style. Of course, I'm pretty sure they want me to do it on an open fire, but it's too dang hot to be playing with actual wood. But we're gonna do some fried cornbread. You talk about good. That's the best way to make cornbread, in my opinion. Of course, it ain't as thick, but dadgum is good. It's like flapjacks, and you don't need no molasses. All you need is some pinto beans gravy. Now, while I was talking about my badminton glove, there's my mitten, and it's pretty daggone bad. That's my badminton glove right there. Yeah, that silicone they brag about, it don't work too well on cast iron. The hell it don't. So now let's check the edges here. Is it brown enough? Gonna give it a lift here on this side right here. Oh, she's looking good underneath, but not quite yet. Not quite yet. I'm using my cookie spatula to try to flip this. And no, I ain't gonna pick it up and flip it like no Chef Pierre's. I ain't doing that. Because if I drop my cornbread, you're gonna see somebody that's gonna be pretty daggum. I'm gonna cry like a baby if I do. Now, I don't have my fry pan in my hand, but this is the reason why I don't do the flipping technique. And I know most professional chefs like to do that right there because it kind of shows off their culinary skills, you know. But when you're dealing with a piece of cast iron or anything that's super hot with actual oil in there, if you go to flip, you usually shove it away from you, pushing the food out to the edge, and you flip, it comes up, and what does it do? It lands right back in your face because you're not flipping it sideways, you're flipping it this way toward the camera. It's going to come back and hit you in the face. In my opinion, that's stupid. Now let's see how bad I can flip this thing. It should be ready. You gotta let it seat up, be able to pick it up, and I'm gonna have to flip it this way away from the camera and myself. See what I'm talking about? Yeah. Now see that one? Man, I'm not a professional at this. But I sure mess it up. That's alright. Knock off the cornbread inside the stove. The stove is black enough. It needs some extra seasoning anyway. Alright, I opened this wing up so y'all can see a little bit better there. And well, I wasn't really trying to show off the mess there in the background. But anyway, I got me a wider spatula. There's my cookie spatula. I should have had this wider one. Get out of here, boo. Should have had this wider one and used this as a stabilizer. So when I flipped it, I could have caught it. Hey, I'm an amateur. What you talking about? I'm also an amateur idiot sometimes. But anyway, this right here needs to brown just a little bit more. So I'm going to flip it back over there. And give this just a few more, maybe another minute or so. Yeah, and then we'll cook a few more of these. Now let's see if this right here works any better. Yeah, it feels a lot more yay. And I'm gonna flip away from it. But she's greasy. Stand back and do the nudging of the flip here. There we go. Much more better. Much more better. I like that. It didn't make a mess on my stove. Flapjack cornbread. This is actually what they call pan-fried cornbread. When you cook on a Coleman stove, you got to learn to read the temperature just by looking at it, and that only comes by a lot of practice. Yeah, it's got kind of a mirror surface there and oil on it. Yeah, well, you see the mess I made with the cornbread there, but that'd be alright. But I mean, if you doing outdoor cooking, if you're using cast iron, that cast iron helps you out a lot. But if you're using the thin stainless steel or the titanium, those surfaces will heat up dramatically quick. But cast iron, contrary to popular belief, cast iron doesn't heat up evenly. It don't. It's a lot more forgiving. So you got to make sure that oil is hot, and one way to read that is to watch the waves in it. Not when it starts smoking. We don't want it smoking temperature. No. It starts to waver a little bit more than what it's doing right there. It's kind of like a breeze, a gentle. There it goes. It's starting to right there. There we go. Now, that's when it's hot. Let me get the camera back on the stand. I usually like to let my pork chop sit out there in the actual flour and such. You know, kind of turn that color. You know, they absorb the moisture. So. Yeah, that oil could have been heated a little bit more, but that's pretty good for a start. Because I got 6 pieces here, shaking off the excess flour. And if I wanted to, I can make a good gravy out of that when it's done. But I ain't got no gravy. Well, I'm not cooking rice or mashed potatoes. I'm using some pinto beans and some yellow onions. So I don't need no brown gravy right now. But yeah, you can use all them good num-nums right there. And we're going to make sure that right there cooks kind of semi all the way through. I want a light browning on this one. That level of oil right there, I think it's just about perfecto. It's up halfway of the pork chops. That means it's going to cook that bread on the ends. Pretty daggone good. I like that. Alright, for the light fry, I think this is just about ready. I did check this piece. I'm going to go ahead and give it a flip. This would have been best with a fork. But you see some of the, well, it ain't blood. What do you call that? Well, there's a technical term for it. But anyway, you start to cook that out, and now you get to fry this side. This is going to be a light fry. This right here was marinated Worcestershire sauce in the refrigerator for about 3 hours. And then flour and seasoned with Tony Chichachiri. Yeah, it gotta be good. Oh, for goodness. Yeah. I think these right here are ready. These are a little bit browner than I wanted them, but it's non-stick. Put them on paper towel. Like pan frying fish, ain't it? Yeah. There it all is. Just for DIY dark matter. Yeah, he finally gets a taste test. And this is actually a cast iron cooking on a Wednesday. Hopefully edited in time for the cast iron Wednesday uploads. Oh man, pinto beans and cornbread, boneless pork chops. This is the one I cooked for myself, and I went ahead and got one of the other ones that I cooked. It's supposed to be a little more tender, and a big hunk of yellow onion. That's right, yellow onion, not no Vidalia. Yeah, I know they're good and sweet, but I like yellow onions with mine. My onions gotta have a little bite. Because unlike Wee Wee and her daughter, I still got teeth. I can chow down on some daggum good pork chop. Man, I gotta hurry up and eat this right here because these damn flies are bad out here. These flies here in Mississippi, man, they'll not only tote you off, they'll suck your blood like a vampire. And you be like, what? Yeah, these things are bad. I think they call them horse flies. Yeah, horses don't like them either. But here is one of those. This is the pork chop, boneless pork chop I cooked for me with some of that pinto bean gravy, as I call it. Man, that's so daggum tender. Hunk of yellow onion. I didn't even need to eat their pork chop. That is super tender on its own. Now the pinto beans and cornbread with that bacon hanging down underneath the fork. Oh no, I dropped it. I got to pick it back up. Come on now. Come on now. Look at that big old fork spoonful type of. I ain't got no sport, but I gotta. Let me get some. Ah, there we go. If I don't drop that. Man. I've already tasted these beans, but not off the plate. Not with the cornbread. I added me some extra black pepper to it because I like my black pepper. I love me some black pepper. Yellow onion. Man, the only thing I'm missing right now is some sweet tea. That would have been the perfect meal. And to think, it was all cooked on a fajita pan. Except the pinto beans, they were cooked in stainless steel. I got some cast iron cook pots for the beans, but I want to use my stainless steel. Because stainless steel is our friend too.